Congratulations! You've now completed the PowerPoint on rate frequency data collection. In the following video module, you will see what it looks like to use rate or frequency data collection when working with a client. When you are working as an RBT, it will be important for your supervisors to know that you are collecting rate or frequency data with your clients accurately. They may use a tool like this one to make sure you are accurate in your data collection. This is called a performance monitoring tool. Performance monitoring tools are used frequently in applied behavior analysis to ensure RBTs are implementing procedures correctly when working with their clients in sessions. This performance monitoring tool is used specifically with rate or frequency data collection. Here is where you see the specific steps listed that an RBT must complete when collecting rate or frequency data. We will go through each of these steps in more detail momentarily. Here is where your supervisor, who is monitoring your data collection, will put their initials and the date of their observation. This is where data is collected. For each step of the performance monitoring tool performed correctly, your supervisor will mark a plus. For each step performed incorrectly, they will mark a minus. If there's no opportunity to observe one of the steps in the performance monitoring tool, the supervisor would write an A or not applicable. At the end of the observation session, the portion of the performance monitoring tool here is used to calculate the total score so that you, the RBT, know how well you performed. There is also a comment section so that your supervisor can specify areas of improvement as well as areas that were performed well. This is an objective way for supervisors to give feedback to the RBTs so that they know what to improve on in their data collection skills. You will see many examples of performance monitoring tools as you continue through the RBT modules. Now it's time to practice. In this video clip, you will watch an RBT collect rate or frequency data while working with her client. The RBT, Grecia, is sitting on the left. The client, Vahe, is sitting on the right. The target behavior that Grecia will be collecting data on is aggression. Quick review from your PowerPoint on operational definitions. For this client, aggression is defined as any instance of Vahe's hand making contact with any part of the RBT's body. Before beginning this session, Grecia was sure to review the operational definition to be sure of the target behavior she was looking for. Make sure to keep this definition in mind as you watch the following video clip. So to begin using the performance monitoring tool to make sure that Grecia is collecting rate frequency data correctly, we're going to start by putting the date and initials. So today's date is November 10th, 2017. And our initials are TC. The first step that we're looking at is, does the RBT gather all necessary materials before beginning the session? We can see here that Grecia has her toys that she will be using to play with Vahe. She has her data sheet and she has a pen, so she's ready to go to collect data. For this step, she gets a plus. The next step we will look at is, did she prepare her data sheet? This is the data sheet that Grecia is using when tracking rate or frequency when she's working with Vahe. So, the three components that are required for her to prepare the data sheet correctly include writing the date and the RBT's initials at the top of the data sheet. So here, Grecia put her own initials, GM, and she wrote the date of observation. She also included Vahe's initials. So for this step, she gets a plus. Recorded the target behaviors to be observed. Grecia is tracking aggression using rate or frequency, and here she recorded aggression as a target behavior. So again, she gets a plus. Finally, recorded the start time of the observation session. Here, session start time, Grecia recorded that she started at 4:32 p.m. So again, for this step, she gets a plus. Very nicely done. The next step we're going to look at is step 3. We're going to watch Grecia work with Vahe and note whether she tallies each time the target behavior occurs within 3 to 5 seconds of its occurrence.
Nice playing.
Did you see it? Vahe hit Grecia's hand. She immediately turned to her datasheet and made a tally. So let's look at the datasheet. Here we can see that she tallied 1 for when he hit her hand. So here she's going to get a plus. Great job, Grecia. Let's keep watching.
Ooh, it's spinning.
Looking good so far. There, did you see it? Once again, he hit her hand. She immediately turned to her datasheet and made a note. So again, she gets a plus. Let's keep watching.
You can dance. You can dance with no music.
Once again, he hits her and she immediately tallies. So again, she gets a plus. Okay, so that was the end of that observation. So within the minute that we watched Grecia working with Vahe, he hit her 3 times, and she made a tally within 3 to 5 seconds each time that he hit her. So she got a plus for each of those occurrences. The next step that we're going to look at is number 4. At the end of the observation session, does Grecia record the end time? So for this, we're going to go back to the datasheet to make sure that she performed the following steps correctly. So we're looking at step 4. At the end of the observation session, here we can see that Grecia recorded the end time. She started at 4:32 and she ended at 4:33 p.m., which she marked under session end time. So for this step, she gets a plus. The next step we're looking at is, did she record the total number of tallies marked? We can see here that she made 3 tallies, which corresponds to the 3 occurrences of aggression that we noticed from Vahe hitting her hand. So here she counted the total, 1, 2, 3, and marked 3 under total count. So for this step, she gets a plus. Calculated the total number of observation minutes using the recorded start and end time. Here we can see that based on her start time of 4:32 p.m. and her end time of 4:33 p.m., there was a total observation time of 1 minute, which she noted here under total session time. So for this step, she gets a plus. Calculated the rate of occurrence, which is the total count of the behaviors, or the number of instances of aggression, over the total number of observation minutes. The total count of aggression was 3, and the total observation time was 1 minute. So here we can see that Grecia accurately recorded the rate as 3 occurrences of aggression per minute. So for this step, she gets a plus. And the rate was correctly noted as the count per minute on the datasheet. So for the last step, she gets a plus. So, Grecia performed every step correctly on the performance monitoring tool. That means that she's going to get a 100% correct, which is calculated by taking the total number of pluses over the total number of steps that have plus or minus. Since they're all a plus, that will be 100%. So here in the comments, as her supervisor, we can write, "Great job, keep it up." This will let her know that she is doing everything correctly when she's taking rate or frequency data when working with Vahe. Now you'll watch one more clip of Grecia working with Vahe, and we'll use the performance monitoring tool to make sure you've got the hang of it. However, this clip is going to go more quickly, so make sure that you keep up. There will be no sound in the following video clip, so just watch the video as it goes and follow along with the PMT. Congratulations! Great work! You may now proceed to the next checkpoint on Canvas.